Now boarding for Rebuild of Joycast, your weekly destination for anime, manga, and more.
Welcome back, everyone. Val and I are kind of a little bit at loss for words. We usually come into an episode either like right in the middle of a discussion or with a game plan in mind, and we literally just started the call and just jumped in. So I feel like I think we just jump right into the news right now. Let's start another downer. So the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh, Kazuki Takahashi, has passed. This was reported on yesterday at the time of recording. Apparently a diving accident. Like the way they initially reported.
That's how he died?
Yeah. They were so weird in the report because they're just like they reported it like Danganronpa, where they're like, a body has been discovered. I'm like, what? Okay. Apparently 60. Dude, you know how badass freaking Kazuki was?
Go on.
Freaking 60 years old, scuba diving. Apparently he got an accident scuba diving.
That's terrible.
They're still investigating, but that's the story now.
Damn. It's not like a crocodile hunter situation.
Dude lived life to his fullest, okay? Let's put it at that. But the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Sorry, do you know about like the whole thing around the crocodile hunter's death?
Yeah, the stingray got him.
Yeah, the stingray. And do you know how the public took that?
Yeah, they started hunting down stingrays.
They started hunting down stingrays like en masse and stuff.
So we're gonna figure out what exactly killed Takahashi-sensei here.
If Earl were here, he'd love to talk about how scary the ocean. That's what it would be. It's like, why the fuck would a 60-year-old man be going down in the ocean?
I forgot that Earl really hates the ocean. I too am also not a fan of the deep ocean.
Yeah, there was that time where you and I were, and I believe Earl were watching some kind of documentary. Was this in Seattle where we were watching like a documentary on the deep ocean? Earl was just there going on a rant about how terrifying it all was, like ocean volcanoes and everything. And
he doesn't like what? Because basically, like, I'm not sure if we were watching a documentary. I went on a tangent about how all life originated in hydrothermal vents in the ocean.
Yeah.
And then Earl started freaking the fuck out because like he gets triggered by the deep ocean, which I agree. It's why we're such a perfect pair. Besides you and I, Val.
He's like, don't tell me that somewhere in my genetic code, like, it all originates from that fucking place.
Yes, the deep ocean is full of horrific creatures that we just need a big old bleach wipe and just clean out the oceans. It's a terrible, terrible, dark, cold, horrible place.
So, wait,
and that makes Steena believe there's mermaids there.
You just want to kill Steena's belief in mermaids.
No, she doesn't believe in mermaids. I'm totally like just exposing her right now. But there's this mermaid documentary on Animal Planet called Mermaids.
They're called manatees.
The body
Steena.
discovered. The body discovered.
Yeah.
That wasn't a Yu-Gi-Oh creator, but a fake mermaid. It was a fake documentary that it was fake, but it was semi-believable. And Steena for the longest time believed mermaids were actually real until I rewatched it with her, and I was like, "Look how fucking shit this is now."
Good lord.
You got caught up in the moment.
But back to Kazuki?
Yeah, Kazuki Takahashi is his name.
I will be honest.
Yu-Gi-Oh, one of the most like influential figures in shonen. Let's be honest, because when I was growing up, there was Pokemon, Dragon Ball, and then Yu-Gi-Oh predates Naruto. So that's the big
Digimon
three.
There somewhere, for fuck's sake.
That's the big three at the time.
Digimon.
Yeah, Digimon was there, but no one respects Digimon in comparison to Pokemon.
I know.
Sad. It's sad, even though Digimon's anime is way fucking better.
It is. I'm on season 4. I've started watching the 4th season. I've never watched it. So
you never watched Beyond 4? I saw 4.
No, I never watched Beyond 3.
Yeah, I did.
I heard 4 was hot garbage, but honestly,
it's not.
I'm actually enjoying it a lot. The leader character, I want to say his name's I need to like what I know that what's the I know one of them's got like a really English name. It's like JP. I know, yeah, JP. I know JP. That's about it. But the main like leader character in that is like the most level-headed one I've ever seen. He doesn't seem to have that many hang-ups, and he's genuinely the most responsible and seemingly on it when shit gets real. And I'm like, I respect this kid, but this Digimon is neither here or there. Carry on about
No, but
Yu-Gi-Oh.
it's a good thing that you bring it up though, because again, bring it back to Yu-Gi-Oh. And not that Yu-Gi-Oh predated Digimon, but
No.
a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh really influences shonen and shonen inspired works.
He does, yeah.
Like if you want to talk about one of the most successful, like if you want a challenger to Pokemon's throne, more like a greater challenger than Digimon, it's Yu-Gi-Oh. For the throne of the triumvirate of your games and your anime, your whole media franchise is a fucking beast.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh.
absolutely. I forget.
There's a great marriage, even though the manga barely has anything to do with the other two.
I forget very much, to be honest, that Yu-Gi-Oh, the card game, originates from a manga. To be honest,
A manga where that card game
is like
was barely a thing. It was a side fucking hustle.
I think it became
was a
more of a
one-off.
thing. It became more of a thing late. Wait, was it?
Yeah,
really
later.
just-
I mean, like he did a new series is what he did. Like there was the King of Games or whatever.
Oh,
And,
yeah, yeah.
Basically, what you constitute in the anime as Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0, that was the original manga. And then once the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime started popping off and the Duel Monster started becoming a thing and the card game that came out, that's when it became more hyper-focused on Duel Monsters.
See, I actually don't. Okay, I know a lot about the anime because obviously every kid liked Yu-Gi-Oh. I remember when my brother
Most
was
people
like,
do, and myself
Yeah.
included. Probably
Yeah,
only
but
really knows it through the anime.
I haven't touched Yu-Gi-Oh cards since I was a little kid. Like I probably have them around somewhere. I think the
I have
only card
I have
that
them in a tin somewhere. I could dig those fuckers up
absolutely.
right now, I bet.
I have like Relinquished. I have like Blackluster Soldier and
Yep,
stuff like that. Like
the
originals.
Red Eyes, Black Dragon.
Oh yeah, Blue Eyes and all that.
The-
But I could not tell you about like where the card game is right now. To be
Oh,
honest.
I can tell you because not recently because it's been forever ago, but Legacy of the Duelist that was on PS4 was the last Yu-Gi-Oh game I played, and wow, the game has really gone someplace. I'm sure it's not even at this point. I'm sure the game has moved even beyond this gimmick, but where I stopped in the video game was
Was it synchro summoning?
Not synchro. Synchro's fine. XYZ summoning, I understand. I think is perfectly fine.
Explain it
it's
to
fucking,
me.
It's pendulum summoning is where I go, what the fuck is this? It's almost like it's simultaneously the most complicated thing and also the most like instant gratification. Like I think the sweet spot was XYZ summoning, if even that, because even that was just like power scaling, escalation going nuts. But pendulum summoning, I am not a Yu-Gi-Oh expert, everyone, so I'm gonna butcher this. But it's like you have two sides of your battlefield, and you put a pendulum monster on one side and a pendulum on the other, and together they can have a combination of effects, and they affect what you could also summon onto the field. It's really weird.
And what?
And it
kind of
results in these
things-
crazy fucking combos of these fucking instant fucking level fucking 12 fucking monstrosities.
That's right. Like Yu-Gi-Oh has levels. I've been playing the Digimon card game, which at this point in time I'm like is understandable. I think the most complicated thing they have so far in the English version are Digibursts, and they've introduced hybrid summonings a little while ago, so you can like put down a tamer which has all different kind of effects, and you can like make that tamer into like a champion level Digimon on the fly all of a sudden and put it out into battle in case you don't have any like babies or anything. It's a pretty cool
How
mechanic.
fun
I
is
like
the
it.
current Digimon trading card game?
Yeah. The current Digimon trading card game. It's pretty fucking good. I like it a lot. It's pretty simple.
From what I've seen, the art's pretty good. It's original
The
art,
art's
right?
the art is super good. I actually love it. Like I enjoy it because you really get like it's the thing about Digimon that's always appealed to me. When my friend Jack, he always comes up at least once in a blue moon on
I swear
here.
to God, we
if
gotta
not
get him on
regularly.
here.
Yeah, we absolutely. But so he doesn't get this, but he's always like, the Digimon are animals. I'm like, no, they're data. And sometimes they'll actually talk about like what kind of data that they come from. Like when I was watching season 4 the other day, Tapiamon was on there. Do you know Tapiamon?
I vaguely remember.
Yeah, Tapiamon is this little pig Digimon, and he's got his back legs are little clouds because he's like based on a yokai.
Yep, I know he is now.
Yeah,
He got
yeah,
tusks.
yeah. Yeah, he's got little tusks and he's super freaking cute. So it actually explained that Tapiamon comes from the data of like some kind of sleep analysis machine or something like that. And I was like, oh, like, okay, that's cool that they actually, I wish they did this for everything, because then you've got like clowns and like evil clowns and puppets and whatever, and it's like, well, how do you explain those? And that's one of the things they can't like get around, basically.
You could speculate that they come from like a toy registry and stuff.
Yeah,
and marketing research.
You know what? That's a very good idea. Yeah, maybe I don't think about
No,
like, you know, the data.
I would love if they did expound upon that. I think that's very interesting.
I mean, I honestly sometimes
imagine a Digimon coming from 4chan or
Jesus
a Truth or News Network. That'd be pretty cool.
My God, I'm Flat Earthermon.
Flatmon. He'd just be Flatmon.
True. I'm going to flatten all of you kids.
My last exposure to a trading card game was the recent Pokemon cards. We did a stream where we did unboxing, but it ended up getting taken over by, basically, I got a tin of Pokemon cards, but then I also got like a couple packs of Zatch Bell, and we ended up being more fascinated by the Zatch Bell cards.
Ivan, you don't have to tell me. I know about the Zatch Bell. You were super fucking hyped for them. What was the best card you got in them?
Bowsagariga. I got a holographic Bowsagariga. It was
I don't
fucking
even
sweet.
know who that is. If it's not,
it's a move, because they have the characters, they have events, and they have the moves as cards. It's pretty cool. But what I want to get on with this is apparently at Anime Expo has happened, everyone, and we will be feeling the effects of the Super Spreader event through months to come, maybe even years. But apparently at this event they introduced a couple sets of news, as well as but I'm gonna stay on the topic of Takahashi here with card games. There was a One Piece card game that got introduced.
Yeah, I can't. I'm hard into Digimon, but I've got to play it. I've got to try. I'm at least gonna buy a box.
I want to play it, but this discussion started on our Discord, which is now a little bit more public than it was before. So if you're not been on our Discord, get on there now. Now there's a little more diversity in talking options now. We expanded it a little bit more to the public. I've developed, because of that discussion, I've developed like 3 stipulations to what gets me actually interested in your card game. 1, you actually need good art.
Original art. No anime, like, pictures like the original One Piece card game had, I believe. That's
the reason why the Zatch Bell and the Pokemon card stream happened, because I was trying to do the My Hero Academia card game, but they ended up just being fucking publicity stills and just, like, clips from the anime.
That's terrible. Awful. You can't do that.
Which sucked.
I mean, you know what? I will admit, Digimon does that sometimes for, they're like legacy cards or something like that. Like
legacy, if it's for an event, that's fine. But if it's the basis of your whole fucking game, that sucks.
No, exactly. Like for the most part, it's all original, really good art. I think one of my new favorite cards. It's not the best, but I got hyped about it because my favorite Digimon is Wendigomon. He's like on top of Angemon, breaking his staff and just going wild on him.
Yep. So then stipulation number 2 is it's got to actually be a fun and unique playing system. Again, that My Hero Academia card game was just a spin-off of another pre-established crossover card game that's just
Was it that Wyson thing or something like that?
Yeah, it was something like that, where it's a bunch of
different
they just buy licensing rights to a franchise, and it's a very general fucking playing game.
And you can just... It's like... Well,
I mean, it'll be better if they sponsor us. I'll say it's good, but right now it sucks.
I was gonna say, it's sort of like a top. Do you know Top Trumps?
Yep. So because of that, that's why like Yu-Gi-Oh is great. Even the Pokemon trading card game is great because they've got awesome, unique art and a fun play system, even when it escalates like Yu-Gi-Oh's has. And then stipulation number 3 was it has to give me $1 million. So One Piece is card game. So far so good. The system seems to be unique. The art, it looks like it might be new art. It might be stills from like manga spreads. I'm not sure.
I won't be happy if that's the case.
But yeah, like I need to see more. They gave preview cards at the expo, so we'll see about in the wild soon. But
could you explain the system to me?
I don't understand the system. I just seen stills. They haven't at least from what I haven't really dug too deeply into it. It's been a passing glance.
Okay,
but there appears to be a system that seems very One Piece unique.
I might give it a go myself, and I'll probably. I mean, I'm guessing you're gonna also like probably buy a pack.
Because if it's cool, I would absolutely do an unboxing of that. If it's cool.
Yeah, agreed.
But it's got to be cool.
How would you
follow my 3
How would you want it
stipulations.
to progress as a card game, expansion-wise? I mean, I don't think they would.
Again,
do this,
I primarily
but
I have those 3 stipulations, but the most important thing is the art has to be cool. It has to be fun. It has to be just like Pokemon. Like, do cool things with your characters. Like the same way they do the window pages in the manga. Do that. Make your cards little window pages.
Rob Lucci, like, I don't know, eating ramen or something.
Yeah, Rob Lucci eating ramen, fucking Chopper filing the Straw Hats' taxes, like stuff like that.
Oh, I know you're joking, Ivan, but now I want that.
Yeah, exactly. No, it shouldn't be a joke. That should seriously be the goal of your franchise fucking licensed card game, is to show us things we haven't seen before. It should be fucking supplementary to the franchise material, not just, well, here's some things you've already seen before, but now in the form of a very lazily put together card system. And you'll just buy it because it exists. No, I want to buy it because I get something new of the franchise that I love. I get to interact with it in a way that I don't get to before. Not just the lame card system, but the art. I get to see new things from it. And I get to have my favorite art of those cards.
There's
the
like
heart of the cards.
There's a one that I really like. It's another example of Digimon. It's Commandamon. He's like Agumon, but he's got like army fatigues on, and it's like
I know what you're talking about.
Blue and black. Yeah, and it's this image of them like sat at camp, and one of them is just digging his freaking teeth into this like massive meat on the bone and everything like that, and the others are like looking at him like kind of hungry. I think I'm going off of memory. I've got it in my like in my whole like card album and everything like that. You want stuff like that, and that's what I mean about Digimon. It's like, you know, when it's like doing, oh, you know, the Digimon, because they're kind of like people, you can have them doing all kinds of weird little funny things if you want, really. There's that card I really like of I can't remember his name right now, but it's the one that digivolves into Andromon. He's like a big copper tin man and everything.
I know who you're talking about. I know.
Yeah,
exactly
and he's
what
just
you're talking
sat in a flower. I think he's
Gardromon?
like thinking. Yeah, Gardromon. I think he's thinking about being sat in a nice flowery meadow, like with a butterfly on the tip of his finger and everything. That's what you need with One Piece.
about. Exactly. No, that's not just what you need with One Piece. Anytime you are making a card game of that ilk, of a franchise card game,
You gotta have
that is what you
personality.
have to do. The art is so important, but unfortunately, that requires investment. And we all know that these boring, lame-ass fucking companies don't give a fuck about investing. It's no longer investing. It's instant gratification. It's instant money. It's recycling what we already have and printing more money.
Exactly. It's a shame.
But so let's go back to Yu-Gi-Oh! In that regard, because that's not Yu-Gi-Oh! That is not its franchise. For all the jokes we make about the manga, the anime, the card game, each one stood on its own merits, and it's thanks to kind of the curating on Takahashi's part. Even though these things were widely different, and they were adjusted on him, he was always a part of it. Even the anime, he would guest animate for some sequences. The dude was a badass. His most notable was the Dark Side of Dimensions movie, where there's it's going around Twitter right now. If you can just look it up, he does a fucking badass sequence where you're like, that's not just like the dude knows what he's doing. He had a passion for animation, and I like that he was always just very much a part of everything. Even though he was just started as a manga writer, he was always he loved to participate in all facets of his franchise. And I thought that was so cool.
Did he animate, or did he like more like
He animated.
storyboard a scene? He actually, okay, that's cool.
I mean, he probably did the we would call the keyframes. He probably did the keyframes, which is like major movements.
Yeah, I know that. That
But
is
yeah.
freaking cool.
Dude was incredible. A huge loss.
You know,
60 for him, 60 is too young.
I acknowledge that. It's like I kind of wanted to say something on Twitter, but I was like, you know what? I know very little about it, and I'm not in that community really, so I'm just gonna like.
You don't need to know much about Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh,
to
yeah, I
know
know
him
that.
because again, huge rock star influencing presence to shonen in general.
I think, when did I drop off? I think I literally dropped off Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, probably after GX. I think I caught the last
Same.
episode
I mean, if in the West, you all jumped off at GX.
Exactly.
Although some people have a special place in their hearts for cards on motorcycles.
Yeah, but I mean, like.
But that wasn't me. That's after my time.
Yeah, exactly. I remember I was probably with all the cynics and like cards on motorcycles. That sounds freaking dumb. What?
But you gotta understand, man. That ticked a lot of young adolescent boxes, though, pre-adolescent boxes.
Probably. I thought I kind of have a soft spot for GX. Like I always think if I was going to go back,
GX
and watch
is a
Yu-Gi-Oh!
fucking
Again,
mess, but a good one.
It probably is, but if I was gonna go back and watch
the
one,
English dub specifically.
What,
You know the mammoth with the Arnold Schwarzenegger impression?
Yeah.
A pure time in Western dubbing that we should never have gotten away from. Even if it was responsible for killing One Piece in the West, it did more good than harm.
Well, actually, that's the question. Then, do you think One Piece could have like survived if it like kept with that dub, but like it didn't?
No. That dub killed One Piece in the West. It would not have survived.
I don't know.
It had to end. It was just doing more damage. It had to go.
I almost feel like, because I look at
they're not all
like,
winners.
No, I mean like Zorro. Zorro is like that's guts. That's 90s guts.
Yeah. All right. Well, no. Here's no. Be careful. It's not the voice actor's fault. It is. There are no bad voice actors. There are not even bad directors. It's bad producers. It's the guy who pays the director's paycheck, and the director goes, "All right, I've been paid $2.50 for an 8-hour recording session. We're gonna do this in like one take because it doesn't matter what we do here. I'm starving tonight. I'm eating freaking bubblegum for dinner. All right, it's not their fault. It's a process, and 4Kids was a bad process. It made some bad process, but then at the same time, also had some real fun shit in between. Because I think a lot of people like to use Pokemon as an example of 4Kids being done right, but I'm currently working on I'm actually very deep into a Pokemon review right now video that's actually getting some progress done, and I keep coming back to 4Kids' like Twilight days, and oh my god, it gets bad. Even a bastion like Pokemon's English dub, it gets bad. Very, very bad.
Who does the Pokemon English dub now?
I cannot tell you at the top of my head, but I do believe it's somebody based in New York.
Because honestly,
it's not Texas. It's definitely not Texas.
I really don't think I can like picture what the current like Pokemon dubbing is like without like.
I know what it is. I know what it's like. I know it in my head.
To what Japanese things are, like the rice balls and everything.
I just don't know who does it. Let me Google it right now. Val, sing some theme song while I do some Googling. Because people really liked that last week.
Wait, when did I sing? When did I sing?
I sang the Beyblade theme song.
Oh,
yeah, they want a karaoke. They want a karaoke episode.
What? I thought everyone was. Wait, no, that was the week before, wasn't it? That everyone was.
No, that's every week. But last week we actually did things that people like because Jujutsu Kaisen's fans are actually really fucking cool and nice. Because go figure, they're secure because they know that their series is good. So there's nothing they have to get defensive about.
Ivan, stop! You're gonna piss off every other fandom. They'll come for us.
That's it. They already are. They already are pissed. But yeah, hey, another side tangent. This is just the episode of side tangents. I'm currently at chapter 105 of Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm continuing to read. I am in like less than halfway through the Shibuya incident arc. This is what Host says is the game changer. I currently feel the same way, more so during this arc than any other part of Jujutsu Kaisen. I really like the characters. I think the story is really fucking boring. I'm so sorry. I'm not interested. But I'm gonna continue to read because I really, really do like the characters. Who was I telling? I made a joke the other night about I feel like Patrick in SpongeBob. We should take the characters of Jujutsu Kaisen and move them somewhere else. We need to save these characters, man. They deserve a better series. But anyways, I literally cannot find at the top of my head who's dubbing unless I'm gonna find it right now. So I was half right. It's being dubbed. Basically, there's 2 studios that are responsible for the current Pokemon dub. One is in New York. One is in California. I cannot find the names, but the lead voice director.
Productions.
What's that?
Well, I'm also looking on the wiki page, and it seems to say that the Pokemon English dub was produced by 4Kids Entertainment Taj Productions from season 1 to 5. Seasons 6, 7, and 8 were produced solely by 4Kids Entertainment. After this, 4Kids lost dubbing rights in season 9 and 10 were produced by Pokemon USA and Taj Productions. From season 11 through 22, I would like to say that's the current season.
No, I don't know, because
produced by Pokemon USA.
I'm being told that Dual Art Film and Video was the last dubber before this new one took over, which they refused to name. However, we do have the name of the director, Lisa Ortiz, who I think has brought in a fucking great cast. I think some of the best casting decisions Pokemon has made has been through this director. I like I said, I've been just listening to it recently, and it's been very fun. It's exciting. Again, it's Pokemon. It's weekly. No one has to try, and I feel like this group tries. But again, it's never been more a children's show than it has been now. So
I still think
take that with
one
a
of
grain
the
of
most
salt.
iconic Pokemon lines is the interaction between James and Ash. Let's send these whining women back to the Dark Ages where they belong.
Yeah, you're not. That being said, you're never gonna reach the peak of old, like mid 4Kids Pokemon.
Nobody's held me since my mama.
That's legendary.
It is, it fucking is. I have that. I had that on DVD and I lost them. No idea where.
I had the
Pokemon
VHSs. I was that old, motherfucker. I had the Johto tapes.
Pokemon Chronicles was like the first DVD I ever purchased for myself, and I lost it along with like Pokemon Heroes. I think that was the one with Latios and Latias, and Ash has a confusing relationship with Latias.
Oh yeah, I also covered that in my review.
Oh, did I kiss the real girl or did I kiss the sexy Pokemon? Ugh.
Right.
He wanted to fuck that Latias. He always did.
He sure did.
But back to Yugioh for a minute. So, anime-wise, are there any like highlights in the anime and stuff that like stick out to you?
I don't think there is an anime out there that is so comfortable with the memes. I genuinely think that is the highlight of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is how comfortable it is with self-parody. Even though it's a Toei product, I literally cannot understand how a Toei product, again, it's definitely like producers involved. I don't understand the confidence that they can make references to the internet memes of itself, and even like the fact that they can make Little Kuribo jokes but also actively not be able to cast Little Kuribo in official dubs.
They don't, do they?
It's a war between the producers and Toei.
When you were saying memes, I was thinking more things like, what was it? Like, there's this scene in,
Joey Face. Like, prime example, Joey Face.
Explain
so,
Joey Face.
You've never seen that when Joey zooms in on the camera and he's got this fucking long fucking jawline?
Of course, that face.
They do it all the time. Another thing is, Seto Kaiba's English dub actor. Name escapes me at the top of my head. Eric Stewart. His entire career it doesn't really, but in a funny, joking way, it does revolve around Seto Kaiba. And the producers of the card game will literally bring this guy in. They brought him in for a stream where he literally like narrated for an AI that played as Seto Kaiba and fought audience members. And then narrated other people playing the card game. Like, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise is very comfortable with self-parody. And there's a balance. Sometimes there's an issue with being too comfortable. Sometimes when your whole franchise revolves around, that's a problem. But Yu-Gi-Oh's entire franchise does not revolve around the memes or the jokes. But they have a very comfortable relationship with them.
You aren't wrong about Eric Stewart. Now, he's good, but it's weird. He seems to only like reprise roles or like be involved with things if they're like remakes or redos of like older things that 4Kids and whatnot dubbed.
Because he really cherishes that time. He really appreciates it.
And that's good. I'm glad he does.
Yeah.
He was in Here Is Greenwood. I remember like starting that at one point with a friend and being like, we'll leave it. Yeah, he played Marco Sebin, I want to say. Marco and Sebin Mendel in the brand new Shaman King, and he also played that same character, Marco Flying Zen Brother, in the original Shaman King, which in my opinion is a super.
Everyone loves him. Like I say, he's I mean, testament to just his career, how much he appreciates the work that he does, and how much the people he works with appreciates him. Is that they'll bring him back. Usually those reprisals are a bit of a difficult thing to do, but you always see Eric Stewart come back. He's very easy. He's very great to work with.
It's the same with Dan Green, I want to say his name is?
Yeah, Dan Green as well. Dan Green. It's that group. Again, you gotta appreciate 4Kids, man. Like, there were some problems that not every dub was a winner, but all the voice actors there had a great time. They were all friends. They all got along, and they're always just good sports about even the cringiest moments. They were good sports about it.
I'm actually looking at Dan Green, 'cause I know he kind of walked away from acting, as far as I know, for a little while, because he had quite a tragedy. He lost his wife quite a while ago, and he as far as I know, dedicated himself to like raising his daughters, I think, for a really long time. But it looks like he's getting back into voice acting more and more. Apparently he was in Akudama Drive, and that's a relatively recent show, I think, from about last year, maybe 2020.
Yeah, about 2020. About 2020 is when he made his big return. Yeah,
that's really nice. I'm glad, because he has such an iconic voice.
Oh my gosh, Val, we could go through a long list of all the primary 4Kids dub actors, because again, like, they're very beloved and cherished.
They really are.
They defined a generation of English dub voice acting, again, for better and worse, for what it was.
Insert the the 4Kids cast
sing the national anthem.
Yeah, with Sonic and was it Michelangelo? I feel like it was Michelangelo.
Oh my god, Luffy, Usopp, they were all involved. Sonic X.
That's insane, God. And
insane.
It's really cool, I guess, because obviously Yu-Gi-Oh! Is so intrinsically connected now to 4Kids and everything. Like, obviously that's how
it is. It is intrinsically, like I said, when they do new dubs, they usually bring them back, even though the company's gone. They tend to like even because usually when some anime trade companies, big primary example is Evangelion. When you trade companies, the directors bring their own comfort people, because that's fair. You work well with certain people, you bring out the best in each other. And that is a completely fair thing to do. Also, rights and contracts change, expire, alter, and don't mesh well with new studios and new producers. Mm-hmm. But when it came to Yu-Gi-Oh!, always very consistent. Always very consistent, man. It was that everything about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just such a perennial. Ages like it's such a, because Pokemon was 90s. Yeah. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is 2000s. And you can't say that things from the 2000s have the same staying power as things from the 90s. Granted, give it another 10 years, we'll see some comebacks, as now that becomes retro.
Beyblade, I always feel like I don't look into Beyblade, obviously.
Beyblade, a pride of 2000s.
I like regular. I like Beyblade a lot, but you know, I'm not like in there looking at the updates and everything.
Go back to our conversation last week about innovative versus adaptive. The 2000s were quite an adaptive period, to say the least. A lot of chasing shadows, and here you had Yu-Gi-Oh!, which I would not necessarily the manga, but the anime that would continue to really solidify what the franchise is going forward. Very adaptive, but has some fucking staying power, nonetheless. Kind of innovated on the card game is the best way to go. The best way to put it.
I was thinking about it just now. It's the fact that, like, obviously, I think it's because card games have more appeal to older kids, and even now, adults
I agree. I think card games appeal more to teenagers.
While spinning tops that hit each other really hard, it is more of a kid thing. Because it's like, you know, you can
Yes,
play with them and be
there's a-
like,
there's a
yeah,
limit.
this is cool for like a while. But
Because
the
it has to do
spinning
with the
tops,
collection part of it.
honestly, you know,
A
okay,
society
wait.
will accept collections from adults more than adults playing with badass spinning metal tops that can freaking set off an airport TSA alarm.
I just want to say, well, something that I'm actually pissed off.
I'm just
not...
saying we might need to start regulating Beyblades, alright? They're starting to get dangerous. I held one in my hand. Dude, those fuckers are heavy.
They can be, dude. They actually can.
You can kill someone new with that.
Something
You
that
can
I'm
kill
actually
a
pissed off
soft-headed
about.
child.
I'm still angry it didn't get popular, and I'm pretty sure they tried to bring it back a little while ago, but it didn't do very well. I don't even know how it does in Japan, but Battle Beaterman. I loved it. I only ever bought 2 Beaterman. I bought a badass one that one of the main bad guys had. It was purple and spiky. It was hard to hold because it was purple and spiky.
I know the name, but I cannot imagine anything other than the name. The name.
They are
strikes
little
familiarity.
robots. They are little robots, and the anime was set in a weird Wild West sort of like thing. It varied. They were like, you know, Taoist Chinese people and everything. They were like, I think, wizards occasionally and cowboys and stuff. It was all over the place. But they had these little robot toys, and they would hold them, and they would put them on tables, and they would launch marbles at each other at like high speeds and everything. And it even had multiple little games with it. Like the best one being that you like move side to side, kinda keeping it on like the it had a strip that you would set up for the marbles to like launch across. So it was like quite a slick little strip and everything. And you would launch these marbles at each other, and if you hit the front of the robots, it would like make a click, and it wouldn't be able to shoot anymore, and that'd be, oh, you've lost. And then they had like bowling games and target shooting games and everything. They had like a whole setup for it, and it was really cool. I got my mom as a little kid. I was like, this is the next big thing, Mom. And I really want one, and I got one for Christmas. I was so happy. I had to save up my own money for like, you know, the second one I got. But no one gave a shit. I would like bring it. I'd be like, do you want to play? No one gave a shit, and I was crestfallen. It was so cool. If you actually look it up, I think you will agree. It actually looks really freaking cool, personally.
Like the way you describe that is like the most adaptive thing I could hear of that generation. I feel like that's like I feel like if you have a tree that spawns like a family, like a Yggdrasil tree that begins with its roots in Pokemon, I feel like this is the very tip of the last branch.
It was cool, but it basically was like carrying around a little marble launch. Like you could get like custom fittings on them and stuff. Like I had this thing that would fit on the front of my little purple one, and it would increase the speed of which the marble shot out, and I could like launch one across a room at someone if I wanted. And it even had yeah, you could get multiple fixtures for them. They had one where it was like a jug that you could fit the beads into, and then it would like have rapid fire and everything. Like I said, the one that I had where you'd like fit it on the front, it would shoot them really hard because they had good speed to them, so it'd be harder to like dodge them, and you could like trick people out and stuff with it. It was cool. If I can get my hands on like a set and a couple Battle Beaterman, I would love to like play that with a friend or do a video of it or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think we've reached the point of the video because, as promised, we said we would talk about My Hero Academia.
We did, didn't we? Which chapter did that? Like, because we left a few. We had a bit of a buffer.
I'm assuming 357 and 358 is what we're doing.
Okay then.
Basically, we're getting to like the perceived climax.
It feels like that, doesn't it? I mean, how long ago was it like My Hero Academia is gonna end in a year? Because I haven't been keeping major track.
It's on pace. It's on pace to do so. We can end when it freaking wants to.
Yeah, and how are you feeling about that?
Again, this is one of those things where like I forget what we've talked about on stream versus off during that vacation period. But again, Endeavor continues to carry this last sector of the overall story.
He's been I feel like whenever he's involved, he's been sort of carrying these.
He carries everything. So like basically at this point, we have Endeavor taking down All For One losing an arm, and All For One bringing back the quirk reversal bullets. They finally found a use for them, and where they haven't confirmed it yet. Like we're at time of recording, My Hero's on break right now, and we've gotten 358 last week. And All For One confirms, not confirms, but it seems to insinuate that they have reverse engineered those quirk reversal bullets to possibly reverse his entire like self. Like we might see the true face of All For One revealed.
Oh, that's cool.
Like he might go back to young All For One. It seems to be the implication, which be pretty cool. I hope he goes back to being the good All For One and not the stupid troll. I hope he's a badass again.
I think we're well past that point. I kind of think it's impossible.
Impossible? Yeah, I agree too. It's impossible to read All For One, but
I mean, he also says that he really doesn't. I mean, with the quirk reversal bullets, do you mean like they're going to use them on, say, Shigaraki or something?
No. Like, I'm just talking about the fact that the villains have learned how to use it for themselves. The fact that All For One, the fact that they're trying to beat him by cutting off his life support, and he's going, bro, I don't fucking need life support anymore. I'm young and hip again.
All right.
That seems to be the implication, but we don't know. It was a stinger page, but you see him forming eyes again and shit.
True, and there's that bit where it's obviously Midoriya flying across the frickin'. How is he actually doing this? How is he? Like,
he's learned because basically he's getting better as he goes. He's learning to combine Fajin with All For One overall.
I always forget what is Fajin.
Fajin is momentum. The more he moves, the faster he gets.
So he just doesn't stop.
So theoretically, he's using One For All to create air pressure, with Fajin to produce sustained flight.
Okay.
The last time we saw him do this, basically during the Lady Nagant fight, we see him actually implementing Fajin to swing very fast and slingshot him around the city. So he's just kind of like he's falling with style.
Okay.
But in the aquarium that he was at, we see him kind of skirting across the water. He's kind of like jumping on water, like he's kind of mimicking Bakugo, creating momentum with blasts.
Yeah, I'm seeing.
In this page, we see that he's now sustaining flight. He's learning this on the go.
Okay then.
Oh, I'm sorry. And on top of that, he's also using Nana's quirk.
Float. Yeah, of course.
That's how he's sustained. Once he gets enough momentum and can get in the air, that's how he stays in the air now, was with float.
I definitely think this...
So, forward momentum, then he floats. And then he can forward on that momentum.
I have to say, by the way, the best page here is definitely this one where Endeavor is forming the Fist of Fire, and he's like got that heavy breath. It's like the fire's pouring out of his mouth.
I like the way he had the fucking laser eyes. I thought that was fucking sick.
It's just...
That was such a fuck you. I actually really liked that. Or All For One's talking shit, and he just fucking laser beams his ass. Like, shut the fuck up.
Right. No, it's just fucking cool. Like you said, Endeavor has been like a freaking treat this whole time.
Yes, he's legitimately one of my favorites. And I'm sorry, audience, but Endeavor is not your dad. This is a story. He's not. He even himself admit he's not redeemable. We agree he's not gonna redeem himself, but the motherfucker's trying. All right.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
And he's and he kind of acknowledges some of the more important themes of My Hero, that are worth noting. Is the fact that he's like, we fucked it up. Like he basically, Endeavor just talks about how his generation fucked it up. He's like, well, we gotta like stop fucking it up. We gotta fucking punch a hole in the wall and let the kids crawl through and not impede them anymore. And we get this interesting shot of, apparently it's a time skip. It doesn't seem to be that far in the future, but Todoroki's hair is a little bit shorter. He's got some slight minor cosmetic changes. Seems to be a bit taller. Everyone else, same situation.
Deku has a fucking cape.
A proper cape, not just a destroyed one.
Well, he got one he got the cape he always wanted.
Kirishima's got the most notable changes. He's got like a fur coat. The man's styling now.
I mean, he's also looking incredibly thin, but maybe that's just like the.
That's perspective and distance. He looks pretty much the same.
Yeah,
but the
probably.
coat's very different. The hair might be a little bit longer, but no, everyone looks about the same. But Todoroki, again, I think this is probably like a 1 year later kind of deal.
I like this point of view from Endeavor, where it's like, no, my son is the main character. Absolutely.
Yeah, again, that's why I like Endeavor. He's like, fuck Midoriya, fuck Deku. No, my son's the main character. He specially farts rainbows.
I still kind of think that Todoroki is in himself also like just really uninteresting to me.
He's
personally.
very vanilla and bland, but I think Horikoshi's done a great job of making lemonade with lemons. The fact that he's actually like consistent, even the anime too is pushed even farther by making him dumber.
They
made him dumber.
To say, they made him dumb,
which is at least more characterization that he had in Sports Festival. Where at least he had stakes. In the Sports Festival, he's an antagonist. He brings antagonistic stakes. But if we want to talk about adaptive versus innovative, it's adaptive. The motherfucker's Sasuke.
No, yeah.
Yes, he's Sasuke.
No. I was gonna say he's Zuko. He was literally Zuko. Daddy issues.
Oh, he's Zuko too.
Scar.
He's Zuko too.
You know, he's everything. He's just an amalgamation of things that we've absolutely seen before.
Less adaptive and more parody of Zuko. Because My Hero Academia is very much a parody. If you want to talk about if My Hero Academia does have innovation, it's the fact that, like how we described how Yu-Gi-Oh! Is very comfortable with self-parody, My Hero Academia is very comfortable with overall parody. Which is so funny the way that Japan handles its own copyright versus outside copyright. I love the hypocrisy. I really do.
Well, they're just like,
otherwise,
fuck
any
you,
other
you
interesting
stupid,
points?
what is it, gaijin? You stupid fucking gaijin. No, I'd say that's all the points I've got for that. It's just
otherwise,
it's solid. I'm literally more interested in what's going on in the next one, which
I want to mention because on the topic of parody, Bakugo literally has the ex-wife from Iron Man 2.
I was gonna say I thought our boy Sonny got just fucked, to be honest.
Yeah, is he dead? That'd be cool.
No, it wouldn't be cool because he's like the only interesting one of, as they called them, the big three near the start.
I like Mirio. I think Mirio's fucking cool.
I feel like Mirio has like just been done for a really long.
But
time.
Mirio's done. Like, why do they even bring him back during the war arc? He doesn't do anything. We say that we'll eat our words. I'm sure there's a plan. The fact that we haven't. You
mean War Arc 1? Because this is War Arc 2, obviously.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, now that you mention it, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact that they
I like
acknowledge
Nejire.
Mirio.
I actually like. Is her name Nejire or Nejire?
Yeah, Nejire.
Yeah, I actually like her hair now and everything. I actually think she looks
So that's
better.
the thing that Horikoshi does with women, or just overall characters. We cut off limbs and we cut hair, and that's our marker of progress.
And Best Genius continues to probably still be like one of my favorite like top heroes.
Yeah, Best Genius. I mean, across even Vigilantes, like Genius has always been a real one. Like he deserves his place. In the Abridged, we treat him like he's a proper #1 hero because he's good. I really like Rabbit Girl. What's her name again? Mirko.
Mirko. I was about to say Mirio again. I was like, no, it's close to that. I really like Mirko's spoon prosthetic.
Yeah, the blade. It's a blade. It's a blade.
Yeah.
That's what they call it.
Yeah, it's a blade, but it's got that.
That's a runner's blade.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's got that like design that like runners use and everything like that. And this panel with all the hands obviously grasping at everyone. Everyone's kind of jumping around. You got Bakugo and everything. It looks like he's holding on to like one of Best Genius, like
what cables? He's controlling cables.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Because in the first war arc, he says, as long as it's a thread, I can control it. Which I'm like, that's pretty. More Horikoshi logic. That's actually so dumb. It's badass.
No, I'm just really digging this chapter's hectic action. It's really great. Like, you can see all these cables.
Yeah,
and,
you can see why he has to
suspensions.
take every week off right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all the suspensions and everything in this area that like Shigaraki is just destroying, or All for One, I guess, because they're basically the same person now. And this is the biggest confirmation that no, they are just like almost a singular being.
A single entity, and also the fact that he's like talking about like exploiting classes and shit. I'm like, oh my gosh, Shigaraki, they ruined you. Look how they massacred my boy. This is not what you were about, man, but good try.
I do really like Bakugo's heavy armor strafing Panzer. It looks badass.
Oh, it's again. I saw that because I saw the leaks first. I'm like, that's kind of sick. It's so ridiculous. It's funny. But then in the actual clean official, you can actually see the ex-wife there, and I'm like, fuck yes, that's hilarious. I hope they actually give that a spotlight, or just that one. I need to look through the frames right now. I don't see it in this chapter, but I want to see the ex-wife have its own fucking moment, where just the one little pew, and it's fucking. It's either a dud or it's the biggest explosion ever. But we leave on a cliffhanger that Bakugo is going to unveil his latest attack, Howitzer Cluster.
I mean, it looks like he is doing it. Really, we're just gonna see the impact. I'm almost guaranteeing we're gonna like see some kind of massive explosion in the.
Well, I think maybe he'll destroy all these fucking
else.
fingers.
He might, but the way that this is going, I'm really thinking on One Piece War, like big fight logic, like Onigashima, where it's gonna be cutting back and forth a lot, and it's gonna be a little
I mean, they
bit
have been.
annoying.
They've already have been.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't. I think we're going to see the result of this attack, like from afar or something. I might be wrong. I'm not.
Maybe.
Like,
Who knows?
Definitive here, but that's like my prediction. I'm protecting myself, Ivan, emotionally.
Yeah, I said I'm keeping myself pretty tempered from this point forward.
I'm liking that we're seeing like a little bit.
I'm kind of in cruise control because that's the other thing I want to mention, is that there was a huge editor shakeup at Shonen Jump.
You mentioned this last week, I think.
Yes, there's a lot of change. Basically, they have single editors per series, and then they're all in groups that then answer to a lead editor amongst the groups. And so not only was there changes in editors between single issue manga, but also in overall groups and teams of groups. Like it was, I don't know why. I don't want to speculate as to why because I don't want to talk too far offhand. I already do.
I was gonna say you've never been afraid
got a
before.
new editor.
Okay.
But he got a new editor, and our audience in the Discord, the public Discord now, has mentioned that maybe they're just in cruise control now, and it doesn't matter what editor Horikoshi has, and we're just kind of just there to close up shop. I'm kind of hoping that's not the case, and I hope this new editor just kind of goes, hey Hori, you want to just do what you actually wanted to fucking do with the series? You want to just go fucking ape shit? Because I'll let you fucking do whatever you want. Because we're this, I don't want cruise control, Val. I want Horikoshi to set shit on fire on the way out. I know the audience gets so mad at my criticisms of My Hero. It's because I know what Horikoshi's capable of, and I want him to just go ham at the end. The art is going ham. The story is in cruise control. The story is in very, very expected cruise control, and I want the story to match the energy, the kinetic energy of this art, because this art is amazing. This art is amazing.
Yeah, it's been good. I'm just going through.
But to also temper some worries that people are like, oh no, did Oda and then get new? No, basically, again, this is why there's some speculation because the manga that's doing well, the mangas that are really doing well, are not getting new editors or teams.
I was gonna say I'm absolutely sure
they
that
ain't
Oda
fucking with
has
Jujutsu Kaisen or One Piece.
I'm sure that Oda has gone through like a few editors by now.
I mean, just by sheer lifetime.
Yeah, and
he's outlived several generations.
As far as I can tell, as well, like if he has had a new editor in like the last couple of years or whatever, this one has definitely been like on him the most about getting shit done, probably.
I say so, but I still think they let him do whatever the fuck he wants, for the most part. Because we have discussed that he's not castrated, but he's definitely, his balls are a little bit smaller than they were in the past. But that might just be a thing of age.
Maybe. I mean,
just natural ball shrinkage.
I mean, I read a small article the other day where Oda, he was upset at one point because One Piece straight up was like stopping him from spending time with his kids.
He had a discussion with some of his peers. Was the deal?
Yeah.
And I've read about his schedule, and it's like a lot. The thing is, if Oda really wanted to, he could spend time with his family. He has a very self-imposed schedule at this rate, and it's fucking ridiculous. I'm not sure how up to date it is, but I heard the man works 6 days a week, and he works like morning night. He sleeps like 3 hours at a time. And I know the man is very passionate about manga. I understand.
Yeah, that was the whole like, well, I think it was to a new assistant. It's like you gotta be willing to die for One Piece.
Yeah, he's very ride or die about it, and that's fine. But please don't become Takahashi, who again, last week I talked about how the current state of his body, even if he has made recovery somewhat, he shouldn't be doing this. I understand that he himself is also quite passionate about manga. But when your fucking body's falling apart, there's gotta be some compromise here. And I hope that what he's doing, I don't know what his process is other than the fact that he's writing it on his fucking back. I don't understand. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw that doodle.
What the process?
I was curious. I was curious about like what the actual angle he was working at is now, since he can't.
That the way he drew it. That's the way he's working.
Yeah, and he's like laying
he's got
back the way I'm
assistants.
laying back.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm hoping that he's really pacing it. I hope Takahashi is really pacing himself. I really do. No one wants another Kentaro.
Look, I'm surprised he's even still doing Hunter x Hunter. I'm surprised he hasn't like moved on to like a smaller scale project, like a new thing.
Because on top of it, another thing I learned about Oda, which I should have already expected, you think me of all people would expect, I got a range on his royalties for One Piece. And I'm not going to say it out loud because it's going to be both rude and also probably out of date by the numbers that I got. But holy fuck, Oda never has to work another day.
Oh, no, he doesn't. Dude, One Piece is
And if One Piece makes that much,
Coca-Cola.
Hunter x Hunter, I don't understand why Takahashi also has to work anymore. Like, again, this has to be purely passion. And again, I applaud passion, and I know I'm a big hypocrite also in this regard about passion and health, but holy fuck, man. At least I'm not shitting in a shower.
I mean, dude, some of these people make.
Maybe someday. Maybe someday I'll be so lucky.
Oh, I
to
thought
shit in a shower.
I thought you were talking about the money. Then I was gonna say these two people have made some of the most successful and like beloved like manga.
Yeah,
of all
I said
time.
royalties, like not counting other things, just the monthly check in the mail.
Like
The proceeds of like, hey, you used my product. You said my product in an interview. You used this for this toy anime and this and that. What's that licensing cost? And someone presented me with Oda's numbers, and woo, yeah, that's about right.
You don't. Do you actually know how big One Piece is in Japan?
No, I know it's big, but my God, it's big. Like I'm just like, I'm one of those people that says that manga is probably more successful than the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I genuinely believe that the global economy, at least in the mainstream sense, really sleeps on the power of Shonen Jump.
Can we switch topic for a minute?
We've got a minute left, so go ahead.
What are you thinking about some of the anime reveals at AX?
You know what? We should discuss that if this episode does go a bit long, because we didn't previously mention AX at the beginning of this episode. And I definitely want to discuss it. I do want to discuss that.
Yeah, I'm thinking, personally.
You start. You lead this conversation.
I've been thinking about Bleach. A series that you know, and anyone who regularly watches this, if it does come up, I have some contention with Bleach. And I'm looking at that anime, and I'm gonna be frank, or the trailer for the anime, and I really don't think this new Bleach series is gonna be anything particularly special. If you watch that trailer,
I think the marketing is very special, but go figure. They'll invest more in marketing than the actual animation.
See, absolutely. I've been watching that. I've watched it a few times now, and every time I've watched it, I've been really like, I don't think that this anime is really gonna. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna have some highlighted bits, but I think we might have a little bit of a Shaman King kind of thing on our hands, where. I was looking at the animation. There's bit.
Well, they just hype it up, and then when it comes out, everyone's like,
it's gonna be like.
that is exactly what's gonna happen.
Like I really don't think the animation team is gonna be like. I'm not disrespecting the animation team or people working on it, but I'm looking at the animation where like Captain Yamamoto is like activating like his like fire and everything like that, or people like doing these slashes. They're Ichigo's Zangetsus, I believe they're called, his like range slash attack that he always does. And I was like, nothing is like hitting me. When I think about an anime trailer, at least one that's relatively recent, I think of Ranking Kings. That trailer blew me away on an aesthetic level because I love the style of Ranking Kings, and animation-wise, it looked gorgeous. They were just throwing all this like stuff at you, going, have this, here's that, oh, there's Dorshe suplexing the lion, or whatever, and it's like, oh, this is amazing, but nothing in Bleach was hitting me, and they kept having these bits where they felt the need to, like, name all of these characters, and it was, like, getting in the way of the animation and stuff, and I was like, it feels like they're hiding something. Maybe that's just me, maybe I'm a pessimist, I'm completely open to that, and even though I have contentions with Bleach, I really don't like Bleach. There was a point where I would have said, when, like, 2000s, Ivan, if you showed me bits from Bleach, I'd be like, oh, Bleach is so fucking good. I love it. Like, I bought video games of Bleach. There was, Dark Souls on the DS, which was like, there were 2 games on the DS. I can only remember the second one, though. It was just superior. You could play as Hollows. There was Dark Souls. There was Shattered Blade, I think, on the Wii and everything that I got. Along with Sonic and the Secret Rings, which I liked a lot more. That game is an underrated Sonic game. Play it. Sonic saves a hot genie from an abusive relationship. Go play it. It's hard. I understand that, but it's good.
Val, I am like the tip of the spear of Secret Rings apologists. Like, I love Sonic and the Secret Rings.
Brother!
Fucking love Sonic and the Secret Rings.
It's
Great game. If you don't like it, shut the fuck up. Like, look at what we
you.
had during that gen. Like, that was one of the best it had to offer.
I loved that game. But, yeah.
You didn't like Sonic on Rails? I feel like Sonic on Rails works better than open world Sonic.
I think it does, too. Plus, Eraser Jin, low-key, kind of freaking awesome villain in my opinion.
Eraser Jin was kind of a badass boss to introduce the series.
Yeah, and also, great soundtrack, but what do you expect? It's a Sonic game. But anyway, my point is, to finish off my point about this Bleach thing, I'm looking at this trailer, I'm not feeling hopeful. Even though I do not like Bleach, I am not such a prick that I don't want people who do enjoy these things to have a bad time with them. That's just the way I am. I'm genuinely worried about the Bleach fandom. I don't think they are getting the anime that they deserve after waiting 10 fucking years, because that anime got cancelled back in 2012. I remember my friend inviting me over and being like, Val, come watch, like, check out the final episode of Bleach with me, and I did, and I was like, I don't really give a shit or know what's happening, what are these, where's Ichigo's Soul Reaper shit, but you deserve better. You've waited 10 years for an animated version of the 1,000-Year Blood War. My personal friend literally has not even read the manga. He was a Bleach mega fan. He's really looking forward to this. I think about people like him. Anything that you thought about, like, anime-wise at AX?
Anime Expo. Want to talk about an anime that's getting, or a series that's getting what it deserves? Chainsaw Man. They didn't reveal much at the panel, as they should not have. Mm-hmm. People were mad that they didn't show anything. Good. Be mad. Don't show shit that's unfinished.
Yeah.
Let them get the job done. Alright? We don't need to see footage of Chainsaw Man until the day the fucking anime comes out. Don't need to see anything. Okay? But there was a very interesting, awesome little detail that they talked about production-wise. And the fact that is, Chainsaw Man, the anime, does not have a production committee. What this means is that some rich fucking producer who barely knows shit about anime production, who just say, hey, I'm gonna throw some money and then I'm gonna tell you what to do with this fucking anime because I'm a fan of Chainsaw Man, and you gotta listen to me. Okay, that's not Chainsaw Man. Mappa literally knocked on Shueisha's door and went, dibs. They said, we're doing the Chainsaw Man anime. And Shueisha said, you know what? That's some big balls, Mappa. Go ahead, you can do it. Mappa only has to fucking answer to Mr. Shueisha and no one else. That means they get to do whatever the fuck they want. They get carte blanche. The budget? It's whatever they decide. It's how much taxes they can evade, baby. It's gonna be a good time. They're gonna put their best boys on this. This is this is Mappa's. This is the senior staff at Mappa's passion project.
I jumped
gonna
the
be
gun
good.
for a moment, and I thought for some reason what you were saying was it was gonna be like. It sounds silly, but I thought it was gonna be like Chainsaw Man is just going to keep on going. I thought it was gonna be like a freaking, I don't know, like what Black Clover does.
No. But what I'm just saying is the fact that they're not answering to anybody, if at all, other than to Fujimoto. They're collaborating with Fujimoto on this, and they're saying, "Hey, yo, Sensei, what about this?" And he says, "More fucking blood, more fucking chainsaws, motherfucker." And that's it. That's all they're answering to. There's no third party involved here. They get to do whatever the fuck they want.
I am looking forward to the Chainsaw. When does the manga come out? It's out this month, isn't it?
Either next week or the following.
That's gonna be sick. I can't wait.
We are at Chainsaw Man Part 2 is upon us, which is the next thing we should segue into. Fujimoto wrote, he didn't draw it, but he wrote a one-shot that just came out last week. Just listen to the song. It was a very small, very funny analogy about the success of Chainsaw Man. In short, it's about a young man who records a song, pinplaying a song for a student. He records a song for a teacher that he has a crush on, and he asks her to listen to it. And she fucking doesn't respect it. She makes fun of him. She uploads it to YouTube, makes it public. And he's like, "Oh my god, how embarrassing!" He's like, "That was such a personal thing. Oh no!" And then people start watching it, and they start finding hidden ghosts in the background of his videos, and they think his song is like a fucking political statement for anti-guns, like for basically for like gun control and shit. Mm-hmm. And the kid who made the song is like, "I literally just made a song about something very personal. This is not about any of this shit. What the fuck?" And the student's like, "Oh my god, your video's got 400 billion views on YouTube. Can you believe this?" And he's like, "I can't believe this. Like, I was just telling a story." and then he goes to make a sequel, and he goes, "It's not gonna be good. I'm gonna make a second song, but it's gonna be awful." So it's saying that Chainsaw Man Part 2 is gonna be awful. I'm like, oh my god, Fujimoto, don't fucking change, bro.
I love Fujimoto, man.
Hilarious. I love that. I love it. Basically, making fun of guys like us who talk a little too detailed about anime and manga. I love it. Love it. Just listen to the song.
No, I'm upset about Pluto. I'm never gonna get over Pluto.
We're getting conflicting messages about Pluto. Some people say it's canceled. Others say it's still going.
I hate that.
We'll be here for another 10 years before it gets done.
It's been 3 years, hasn't it? It's been like
more
longer.
It's been more than 3 years.
Fuck, man. Like before Seattle even. Jeez.
Yeah, but my last bit of news, speaking of one-shots, Inagaki and Boichi teamed up again for a Dr. Stone one-shot. It was an epilogue, and a bit of sequel bait.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I didn't realize how badly I missed Dr. Stone. Even as bad, the ending was so tepid and so just rushed that it was a bit of a downer of an ending, production-wise. This one-shot was such a return to form. In short, it takes place after the main series, kind of between the, because it ends with them trying to build a time machine, and this is them getting materials for that time machine. But that's not what the one-shot's about. Basically, they're in transit from the fucking Netherlands. They've got this new mineral, and they're flying over the Bermuda Triangle, and they crash. They crash in the middle of the Bermuda Triangle, and they basically have to rebuild again. It's like the Dr. Stone prologue again, but now it's set in the middle of the ocean.
Okay.
And they had to build a new boat in the middle of the ocean and get back to civilization because no one's gonna be able to find them.
Should be
and
easy enough.
it's very fun. It's very fun. And I really liked it. I miss it. And they set up the possibility of a sequel. They go, okay, because basically what they find this very rare metal, and they go, now we can extend space travel. Now we can start colonizing more rock. Basically, they make this stone analogy to go, well, planets are just more stone rock minerals that we mine and we move forward. And so they're insinuating that if there was a Dr. Stone sequel, it'll be more like a space voyage. Which is
Captain's
interesting.
log? Senku's log?
Yeah, so like he's teasing that possibility, and I hope Shueisha grabs on it.
Senku
I really
will
do.
not respect the Prime Directive.
Right?
He'll throw
But
that
they're,
shit out the
yeah.
window.
So a very new kind of sequel series that's definitely going to be a lot more science fiction than before. I mean, this was already science fiction, but really going further into fiction now territory for its science. But I'm all for it because I really like those characters. They really needed more of their due in that original finale. But yeah, just like I didn't realize, like we talked about innovation and adaptation last week, and then this one shot came out. I go, oh yeah, that's why innovation is so fucking good. Just that one shot was just so fucking refreshing. There's nothing like Dr. Stone.
Oh, I
Sam's
have a bit
like
of news.
fucking the British book about the kids on the island.
Oh, fucking Lord of the Flies?
Lord of the Flies. I don't know why I could not think of the title. That's the closest thing you get to Dr. Stone.
They killed Pigsy.
They fucking murdered Pixie.
Speaking of murder, this happened today, actually. Former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe shot
Another
dead.
anime legend, motherfucker, ripped in pieces.
Yeah, no, it's like, damn.
I can't believe you brought this up, because I wanted to bring it up since the beginning, but I can't believe it came out of your mouth.
Well, you think I don't fucking hear about this stuff?
Yeah, crazy, because, but thankfully the sources I got from this have been very level-headed and very detailed about it. Basically, an improvised weapon. Like, people thought it was like a 3D printed gun. It wasn't even that. Like, this thing was like a fucking muzzle. This was like a homemade muzzle loader.
It was like a pipe gun or something, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, no.
And they just shrapneled his ass, and
That's it. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
yeah, it's just. But the reason to bring it up is, I mean, Shinzo was a major influencer. He was the prime minister for so long.
He was rather beloved, wasn't he?
It's not
As far
so
as
much
I
that he was
know.
beloved, it's the fact that he was just there. He was polarizing. He was
Okay.
you've grown so accustomed to him.
Yeah.
He was just there.
Is
he was
he-
an inevitability.
Is
He was
he
a
the one that
foundation.
people make the memes about with like the whole like animes of
Exactly.
like,
That's why I
the
say rip
baby,
anime legend.
family
Because
stuff
if it
and
wasn't for
everything.
Shinzo, I don't think we would have Spy X Family.
Yeah,
I don't
there's that
think Attack on Titan would end the way it did if it wasn't for the fucking neoconservatism of Shinzo Abe.
I
The
don't know
reason
about-
why Horikoshi doesn't know his Japanese history is because of Shinzo Abe. And makes himself look like an idiot in front of China and Korea and names his fucking character Dr. Japanese War Crimes.
Fair
Shinzo
enough.
Abe, people are getting mad about the polarizing, but it's very accurate because the man is a vision of comfort and foundation to Japan. But he's also got a lot of problematic fucking ideals, and he's the guy that wants to get Japan's army back. And that can get very scary. You don't want Japan back on the army scene. You don't.
I mean,
you want that
the
back.
way the world's going, I don't. It's a
You don't want it
complicated
back,
thing.
but by God, Attack on Titan's gonna fucking try. That last season, man.
But does Germany have an army?
But Japan has a defense force.
Yeah, I know Japan has the defense. They
Because
have
of a
police-
loop,
they have
because of a
police with
loophole in the
tanks.
system. We've talked about this before with Attack on Titan or Attack on Titan's discussion.
Yeah.
They have a loophole that if the world needs Japan's help, they can enlist their services. Japan wants to take it a step further where you can hire them.
I was gonna say.
This is how Shinzo, because Spike's family's just begun, and he doesn't, I mean, he'll never know, he'll never see it now, that the fact that Spike's family will get everyone to start fucking again, and he won't have to worry about the economy needing a war economy anymore.
Germany has a fucking army. I don't see why Japan can't. I feel like that's just a fucking American thing because of Pearl Harbor.
It absolutely,
and stuff.
you're absolutely right. That's definitely very much an American.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's if
But
Germany
my
can have a
my
goddamn
my staple
army.
is that I don't think people should have armies. I don't think they should.
Uh.
Defense forces, National Guards, sure. Stay in your fucking boundaries, motherfucker. And that's what I like about what Japan had. They stayed in their fucking place and defended their people. and they've been
What
very
is this?
peaceful because of it.
What is this base red-pilled Ivan? I thought you were totally globalist.
No, this is globalism. Japan stay in their zone, defend their own stuff. That's fine. The red pill is Shinzo Abe, who says, "No, we need to be part of the war economy. We need to ship our wars out. We need to be higher. We basically play Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain. That will tell you everything about Shinzo Abe's fucking policies.
I wanted to play that again, but that fucking intro is so goddamn long. I hate it. God.
The intro, man, I know, right? It's way too fucking long. Great game, though. But yeah, anyone, if you want to learn about Japan's fucking war economy aspirations, just play Metal Gear Solid 5.
I'm sure it's more complicated than that. Don't just play Metal Gear Solid 5. Don't listen to this man. He's insane, which I'm shoving him on the train
Well, the
now.
complexity is they use anime and manga as propaganda to make the army look very appealing to the mainstream.
No, yeah,
there.
of course. I mean, that's the case. I mean, wait. Doesn't America have, like, what is it? There was like...
Well, we do too, no, and we load this because we have analogies. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is also military propaganda. The army, our tax dollars pay for our army, who in turn pays Marvel to make movies that make the military look good.
I think Marvel is more about, like, individual, like, you know, like, acts of heroism and doing what you can, to be honest. I mean, that's what a superhero really should inspire people
No,
to
it's
do.
about Elon Musk having his own rocket system. And we should listen to Elon Musk because he's that one individual man. He's that good guy with the $1 billion paycheck.
I'm not touching this.
I know. Why did you even start? Why did you
know.
even start? You brought it up. I was being
I brought up
well-behaved.
Shinzo Abe.
No, literally, this entire podcast, I've been like, when am I going to bring up Shinzo? When am I going to bring him up? And then you just went for it.
You're upset.
You fell. You activated my trap card, motherfucker.
I just thought it was topical. God damn it.
It was topical. That's the reason why I also wanted to bring it up. But yeah, that being said, despite what you think of the politics, what a dark
I don't even know
fucking
the
day for
politics.
Japan. That
Absolutely.
is terrifying. My heart goes out to everyone fucking affected by that. His family. Just because I don't fucking agree with him doesn't mean he deserved that, alright? The man was just campaigning for a friend, alright? He was doing the friend a solid, and he got freaking lit up, alright? No one deserves that. No one deserves that.
A lot of political stuff. I mean, Boris Johnson recently fucking resigned, thank fucking God.
Boris Johnson doesn't live in Japan.
No, he does.
So my little wee brain is now falling asleep.
No, Boris Johnson just deserves a fucking punch in the nose.
We gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here before this becomes a global politics podcast, alright? Because that's definitely not us, alright? I just want to talk about the way it relates to anime manga because Shinzo's influence absolutely extends to anime and manga, man. He pushes for that domestic
I
propaganda.
literally was thinking when I heard about this today, I was like, wait, didn't I literally hear about him? And
I think
Spy X
Shinzo
Family
Abe should have a
shit?
co-writing credit on Spy X Family.
We'll in the next episode at the start of like that part 2 of the new season, they'll have a in dedication to. At the end of every episode.
If no balls, Toho, if you don't do that. No balls.
The author of Spy X Family is gonna go on an extended hiatus.
he lost his muse.
Let's get on this fucking train.
Get off this train. Goodbye, everyone.
Wait, do we get on the train or do we get off the train?
I think we were off the train. I would be honest about. I think we forgot. We've been sitting on the bench. We did not get on the train this week.
I don't know anymore. Do we?
We missed the train. Shit, let's just go home. Let's just go home.
Mind the gap as you exit our podcast safely. Rebuild of Joycast is hosted by Ivan LeRoy and Valentine Stokes. LeRoy's written and directed works can be found on the Joyride Entertainment YouTube channel and the soon-to-be-released original web manga, Paramedic. Val's dulcet tones can be heard in many of your favorite anime and web series, such as Ruby, Death Battle, Tribe 9, Lackadaisy Cats, and more. This episode was edited by Steena Carey, with YouTube version edited by Cody Rock. Music provided by Lo-Fi Geek. Intro and outro narration by Steena Carey. Outro music composed by Michael Pejovich. Logo and visuals designed by Ivan LeRoy. Rebuild of Joycast is produced by Joyride Entertainment and Rock Voice Productions LLC, and made possible thanks to Patreon donations from generous listeners like you. This month's highest tiered Patreon producers are Mr. Host, Austin, Gooner Bear, Jelly Donut, and Fluffy Giggles McCool Kid. If you would like your name shouted out at the end of each podcast, an invite to our private Discord to interact with fans, cast and crew, or early access to all of our content, be sure to check out Joyride Entertainment's Patreon. Links provided in the description. Thank you for keeping Joyride's engine burning.